Hey there everyone, Dylan here, and in today's Whim Wednesday, I figured we would go over a topic of what you can learn from a blind person, or blind people, just in general. And so the first thing that I think you can learn from a blind person is that there are many different ways to do things. And some people might just be closed-minded that there aren't many ways to do things, but in fact there are so many ways, because with a blind person you have to relearn how to do things and do them in different ways and alternative ways. You know, like you can't just do things the same way you did before, and that applies to a person who has sight as well. You think there's one way to a goal, but there's really many, and that's really the interesting thing about it, that it can teach you. It can definitely teach you how there are many different ways to go about doing things. And I think that's very interesting and an important thing that, you know, people can realize about just life or anything in general. And if you hear my cat, I apologize. She is whining because she wants in the room. But so please forgive for that. But anyways, so another thing I think you can learn from blind people is basically not to take things for granted. When my friend learned that I was blind, Jared, he told me that it helped him to not take things for granted as much. And I think that it's very important and a good lesson, because when you see someone who's lost their sight, you then are thinking, man, that would really suck. And I would hate to lose my sight. And it would make you appreciate it more and appreciate things in general. It just opens your eyes, you know, not trying to make any jokes here, but it opens your eyes to the reality that, you know, you might not have something once upon a time, and things could change in an instant because life is unpredictable. So the good lesson with that you can learn from a blind person is, again, that, you know, to not take things for granted. Be grateful for everything that you have. And so the last thing I'm going to talk about for what you can learn from blind people, and I might come back with a part 2 to this if I come up with more, but for right now, the last one is, you know, that you can learn from a blind person is perseverance. And what do I mean? You know, you see a blind person and they go through something very bad, very traumatic, and you have to go and see how they rebuild their lives. And I've heard from many people that it's inspiring to see, you know, they don't have sight, but they still figure out how to live their lives. And I think that can be inspiring and show perseverance and teach perseverance to other people with other kind of conditions or whatever they're going through. And I think that can be a very good lesson. I really do truly think that there are a lot of good lessons blind people can show people and teach people if they're willing to listen and learn, of course. But so I think it's very, very interesting. But, you know, like I said, I may make a part 2 to this at some point, but for now, I will leave it at that. This has been what you can learn, what things you can learn from blind people or a blind person. I'll figure out the title, of course, later. But thank you all for watching. Like the video if you liked it. Please consider subscribing and hitting notifications so you get all the videos. I've been Dylan, and thank you all for watching again. I will see you in the next video.